this is another one of my pickups, and it's of the 2000 movie Star Trek, which was a reboot. And this is the actual steelbook. I managed to find this I got this for £1, and it's pretty much in excellent condition, hardly any scratches in it. Now, although I'm showing this as a stroke on quote-unquote unboxing, I thought I'd stretch this video and do it as a little review as well. Especially where people have been telling me to do reviews of movies, so I'll give you my thoughts on the actual movie itself. Obviously, you've got Star Trek in bold black letters. You've got the Enterprise. You have the sleeve. You have the spine, Star Trek, and then you've got nothing. It's some huge scratches, unfortunately, on the top of here, but nothing too crazy. And a little few scratches there, but as I said, it's only like £1. Let's have a look. You've got 3 discs here. You've got I think this is the actual movie. This is the actual Blu-ray itself, and then you've got artwork at the behind the actual disc. This is the 3rd disc, which is the digital copy. And then you've got the 2nd disc, which is a Blu-ray, which is the special features. And then when we take that out, you've got the Enterprise being chased by a ship. So that's what you've got the 3 discs there. So we'll put that in there. Oh, got Xbox 360. This would work if I actually had one, but I don't. I've got Series X. So now I actually own the original, the 2009 movie now, including this 3 times. This was the first one I got. I got this years ago. I got this from play.com. Again, obviously it's identical to this one. It's free disc. Now, when I bought this particular one, it was actually secondhand. I mean, normally with secondhand Blu-rays, the digital copy normally doesn't work because usually the previous owner downloads the digital copy of the movie and then just sells the actual physical copy of the movie. And then, so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I actually tried it, and I actually downloaded it, and it actually worked. So I've actually got it now. So that's identical there. And it says here, because obviously it doesn't say the special features on there. It says here, Star Trek is a burst of pure filmmaking, exhilaration, and irresistible invitation for fun. The cocky renegade James Kirk, played by Chris Pine, and the equally youthful half-orc half-human Spock, Zachary Quinto, are among the young members of a fledgling Starfleet crew, and about to launch the most advanced starship ever created, the USS Enterprise, during their incredible galactic voyage of exploration and discovery. They will encounter the evil Nero, played by Eric Bana, whose mission of vengeance threatens all of mankind with both a blockbuster hit film and all new special features of a 2-disc digital copy special edition. You will journey behind the scenes and immerse yourself in a thrilling, action-packed Star Trek universe as you've never experienced before. And the special features are Disc 1, commentary by J.J. Abrams, Ben Burke, and Alex Kurtzman, who's now obviously doing the Star Trek shows now. You've got Damien Lindelof and Roberto Olkia. I can't pronounce his name right. I'm sorry for butchering it. And you've got the BD Live features, NASA News, Disc 2, To Go Boldly Go, and that's in HD. Casting, that's in HD as well. A New Vision in HD. Starships in HD. Aliens in HD. Planets in HD. Props and costumes in HD. And Ben Burt and the Sounds of Star Trek in HD. The HD score, Gene Roddenberry's Vision HD. Deleted scenes with optional commentary. Starfleet Vessel Simulator, gag reel, and trailers. And obviously Disc 3 is the digital copy. I also have another copy of it. This was the second one I bought. This is what I bought this years ago off of Zavi, and that was back when they were doing some really cheap Blu-ray deals, and obviously before they started charging for delivery. But I've had this for many years, and then they had two versions of this. They had the black one, as you can see here, and then there was also a white one. And then, as I said before, it was $4.99. It was so many years ago, and then I thought I'd snap it up. And then obviously now this is out of print. I don't know how much this is worth now, but at the time it was, when it was sold out and no one could get it, was very much sought after. So you've got that. So that's kind of great. And you've got, let me open this up. Normally I wouldn't, because this is the one that I'm not gonna touch. Okay. Because I don't know if it contains the same amount of this. Okay. Try to take the top of it off because it's glued down. Yeah, I'm not gonna take some of it off because it's not really worth. I don't remember if it's got the full 3 discs. Yeah, this one has only got the 1 disc, so I don't think it's got the special features. It's just the movie, and you've got the advertisement for the Star Trek video game, which I heard wasn't very good. And then I'm not going to look at the background because it's the same as the other steelbook I got. So yeah, I think this one, if I remember right, this one was just the bare bones one. So my thoughts on the actual movie. Now, obviously, I've probably said this a million times before. I'm a big Star Trek fan, but I was more of the next generation. Into the first. That's when I really got into Star Trek. But I've always been a fan of. Even I did like the original series, although I haven't watched all of it. But I knew all the characters and their mannerisms and the way they were, and especially the banter between. I love the chemistry between Spock and Dr. McCoy, where Dr. McCoy would sit and argue with Spock, and then he would and wind him up, and vice versa. That the actual chemistry behind that was really great. But I grew up with the original one. I didn't really grow up on the original series. I actually grew up on the original Star Trek movies. Like, you had the motion picture, The Wrath of Khan, The Search for Spock, etc., etc. And then you got to the last one, that was Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. So I grew up more on the actual movies, seeing them on like TV, and then watching them whenever they were on. And then eventually, and I ended up buying them on DVD, and then eventually buying them on Blu-ray and stuff. So yeah, again, I was more of a next generation Deep Space Nine, Voyager, you know, the more the modern ones, because of my age. You know, I wasn't born in the 60s, but although I do own the first 2 scenes of the original Star Trek series on Blu-ray, which I will going to get around to watching them properly. You can watch them with the option of the new and old special effects, so that's going to be interesting. But I have watched the odd Star Trek shows, but it was more of if I was flicking through and it happened to be on, and then I just watched them. Not that I was, I was waiting to that particular day that they were on. Obviously, this is the 2009 Star Trek movie, and obviously this is a reboot. As most people know, I won't try to spoil too much on this, but obviously this is set in an alternative universe, which they nicknamed, if I remember correctly, the Calvin timeline. And what I can say about it is that character Nero, who basically does something, comes into the original timeline and then alters it. So basically, the events of how all the characters and these stories from the original Star Trek series basically end up having their own universe. And when I first heard of the idea of the fact that they were going to make a alternate version of the characters in the alternate universe, at first I was like, I'm not sure if this is gonna kind of work, because although I never grew up with the series, I did love the characters in the actual movie, in the movies, the 6 movies that they made. And so when obviously you had the cast of the characters that were picked by obviously J.J. Abrams, obviously was going to direct the movie, and then apparently he says he was a Star Trek fan, so I don't know if he was or wasn't. And you've got the list of characters that they picked in the movie. First of all, you got Chris Pine, who plays Captain Kirk. To me, when I saw him in this movie, I thought it was great. He actually had some of his mannerisms of the William Shatner Spock. Sorry, Kirk, but he actually had his own take layered upon that version of the version of Kirk that we knew from the William Shatner. So that was kind of great. So it kind of felt like familiar, but yet at the same time kind of different. And then you had Zachary Quinto, was it playing Spock? Not to me, he had the part laid down of that version of Spock, and I know that must have been difficult when you had like the late Leonard Nimoy playing such a iconic character as Spock, and then it's kind of really difficult, to try and get somebody else to play that role, but then without you sitting there and then thinking stuff, right, I wonder if he's going to be as good or if he's going to be worse or better. But again, I think he did an excellent job with his version of Spock, and without even needing emotion, and even looked like the character as well. So I think that was kind of a great bit of casting there. You had Zoe Salandra, I can't remember, I'm butchering her name, Salandra, who plays Uhura, and there's a little and I think she played the character really well. So obviously the original character was played by Nichelle Nichols, and I think her character right was great. What I also like with what they did with the side characters was, in the movies and the TV shows, they tended just to focus on Kirk, Spock and Bones, and quite rightfully so, because they were everyone's favourites, and then they had their own better chemistry. But what I also did like about the 2009 reboot is that they gave more time to the other characters, and then in fact ended up fleshing out the backstories with these characters and giving them more screen time, which is what they didn't do in the other ones. I thought that was great. And her character, the character that she was playing in this, she was again superb casting, great in that role. Then we've got John Choi, who plays Sulu. Again, another iconic character, and again, as we know, I'm not trying to be color into this, but especially when they had characters of color and all, especially back in the 60s, obviously, they weren't kind of given their fair light of the for them to shine with their characters. But Sulu was a really good character, and especially it was nice that eventually they ended up making him captain of the Excelsior, so he ended up getting his own ship, which was kind of great. It's just a shame that for me that he didn't get his own series or own movie, which would have been great. But John Choi again knocked it out of the park as his role as Sulu, and again with the Uhura character, gave his character more screen time, and then again fleshed out his character, which was another reoccurring theme that seems to be in this movie, which is why I kind of love it so much. You've got the late Anton Yelchin, who plays Chekhov. Again, his character is kind of great, and again, a lot of people think that his Russian accent was what people kind of think of it. I know that he was of Russian descent, so again, it's not as if they're faking somebody to kind of play the actual character. And again, his character was great, and again, same recurring theme, giving his character more time to shine, and then giving his character something of importance to do, which is something which I really love about this movie. We've got Simon Pegg, who I know is a massive Star Trek fan. He plays Scotty, and obviously he's English, and obviously he's playing a Scotsman. But I heard that he based his accent on his wife, because his wife's got a Scottish accent. I don't know what dialect of what part of Scotland it is, but that's what he based it on. And again, his character was great. You had Bruce Greenwood as Captain Pike, which again we only kind of saw in that pilot Star Trek 60 series. So we didn't, and then he appeared again in a 2-part episode in the original. I forget. Don't know what season of the original show with William and Shatner, but obviously it wasn't the same actor. So it's great to see his character again. Another recurring thing where his character is fleshed out and it's given more. We get to know the character more, and again, obviously now they're making this. Obviously, Captain Pike would appear again in Star Trek Discovery, and as you know, Captain Pike's now got his own series, called Star Trek Strange New Worlds that should be starting up soon. So I think that's kind of great because now we get again to see more of that character and his time in the Enterprise. Again, to me that's fantastic and a great bit of casting. A little side note with the actor Bruce Greenwood, he actually has voiced Batman he voices Batman in Young Justice, so that's kind of cool. You got Winona Ryder who plays Spock's mother in this thing. Obviously, there's some little things that they do because obviously they've done some changes because obviously it's an alternate universe, so they can play around and deal with things that they kind of want to do. You've got obviously Leonard Nimoy, the original Spock from the original universe. Now I won't kind of spoil that in case people haven't seen it, but it was great to see him and the other Spock. I mean, as a fanboy, that kind of when I first saw that, I was like, wow, and it was great to see Leonard Nimoy again as Spock. Absolutely fantastic. And then we've got Eric Bana as the main villain, Nero, who I thought, some people love the character, some people don't. I thought the character was kind of alright, the villain, but but each to their own, so to speak. I mean, he's playing a Romulan villain. Obviously, with his character, there's a tragic story behind why he has revenge, and it involves Spock, but I won't say which one. And then we have, I'm trying to think, I remember which other characters in it. We have Carl Urban as Dr. McCoy, or Bones McCoy as he's known as, and I don't know how to put this right, but he's although that you want somebody being familiar but yet different at the same time, which is what most of the characters do. His version of Bones is absolutely spot on. Not only does he look like DeForest, the original Bones or Dr. McCoy, but he even has his mannerisms and even his facial mannerisms and the way he speaks and the way he talks. Again, hats off to the actual whoever it was that casted these group of actors and actresses in this role. They were absolutely perfect. But his interpretation of Bones is absolutely 100%, in my opinion, spot on. So I mean, when I saw his character on screen, absolutely amazing, great casting, and the fact that obviously, as you already know, there's been 3 movies now. There's been obviously this, Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond, and now they've just announced a few weeks ago that they're making a 4th one, and all the cast are coming back. So that's absolutely great. Obviously, Anton Yelchin, obviously he sadly passed away, so he won't be coming back. So I don't know if they'll be recasting or maybe just leaving out his character and adding somebody new into it. But yeah, my overall thoughts of it. I absolutely loved this actual movie. The special effects were absolutely brilliant. I know a lot of people sit and say, "Oh, the special effects of the design of the starship looks kind of brand new. It looks like something that Jonathan Ives would have designed at Apple." But you can kind of understand it. Obviously, like now we're in the 21st century, and then they're gonna have to update the way the ships and things look, because again, when they designed the original Star Trek series, it looked very 60s just because that was the product of its era. And if you looked at a lot of the shows in the 60s, like Lost in Space and Land of the Giants, a lot of it, and even Time Tunnel, good God, I'm showing my age, they all had this 60s look to it, which is understandable because that's when these shows were kind of made. So I don't really have a problem with them kind of modernizing the way it looks, because you still know that the year that it's kind of set in, so it's kind of understandable. But yeah, I my first view in the movie was, you know what, I'm not kind of sure what to feel about the actual movie. And again, when I watched it from start to finish, I was absolutely gripped. I just absolutely loved the actual movie. And so yeah, this is an example of a alternate timeline stroke reboot of a TV of a movie done right for me. And this is for me was a perfect example of it. Even right down to the actual Star Trek theme. They used the classic Star Trek theme, but yet somehow remix it into a new theme at the same time. So you've got the blend of the old Star Trek, but then the new Star Trek. So it kind of, trying to think of the right words, it kind of respects its original heritage, which is this whole movie did in spades. So for me, absolutely love this movie. So I would say if you haven't watched this movie, which you probably should have done by now, I highly kind of recommend watching it if you haven't. Even if you're a hardcore Star Trek fan that's really into the old stuff. I mean, for me, you will respect. You will like it, as this is what doesn't disrespect the original Star Trek series that come before it, and especially as I said, it's set in a new universe. It's set in an alternate universe, so it's not like it's wiping out the continuity of the other Star Trek. And there is, you have to sit and paint this a quick look. It's a quick. There is an Easter egg. There actually is a Easter egg that ties into the original Star Trek crew. All I will say is, and you'll notice it, is Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. That's the only clue that I'm going to give. If you already haven't watched it, or maybe you already have and you'll know what I'm talking about. And the original budget, it was made on 150 million. That was the original budget, and then the box office was $385.7 million. So again, that was fantastic movie. The actual music was done by Michael Giacchino. I can't pronounce his name because I think his name is Italian. It's Gaminio. I know that I'm not sure, but 100% that if he's done. I'm trying to think. Let me click on to see what work he has done, because that name is kind of very familiar. I'm trying to think of what he's done here, because I know that of recent. I'm trying to look here. So yeah, I know that it says here that he's done Spider-Man: Far From Home. He's done the Doctor Strange, and he's done the Spider-Man: Far From Home and Spider-Man: No Way From Home. So that's kind of great. So you can see that the body of his work. Apparently, he even said that he cameoed as a Sith trooper in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely say check it out. I mean, for me, being, as I said before, being a Star Trek hardcore fan of Star Trek, I mean, I would definitely recommend checking this out if you already haven't. But yeah, this is this is how you do a reboot done right. Anyway, sorry for the long video. I mean, and also I just want to mention with Michael, with the composer of this piece, he's upcoming movies that he's going to be doing. He's done the Batman, which I have heard, and that does sound fantastic. He's going to be doing Jurassic World Dominion, and he's going to be doing the fourth Thor movie called Thor: The Love and Thunder. So look out for his work there. So again, I'm sorry for the long video. I just wanted to express my passion of Star Trek, and Although, I'm a hardcore Star Trek fan, some people don't like updates or new things done to it. But again, this movie, I absolutely loved it. So again, sorry for the long video, and I hope people did enjoy it. Anyway, I hope people found this video informative. Feel free to like, because that really does help my channel. And if you already haven't, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. And we'll try to do more reviews of movies in the future soon. So take care, bye for now, and stay safe.